Have you ever noticed how your boss praises your can-do attitude right before piling on another project? Or how that co-worker, the one who always brings you coffee, somehow manages to get you to cover their shifts? It feels good to be seen as reliable and kind, doesn't it? To be the one people can count on. What if I told you that warm, fuzzy feeling might be a smokescreen? What if your best qualities are being used against you? Today, we're diving deep into the dark side of human interaction, revealing 5 manipulation tactics that masquerade as kindness. Do you thrive on being trusted? Does it make you feel great when someone asks you for a favor because it proves they see you as dependable? It's a powerful feeling, but it can also be a trap. You might not be the hero of the story. You might be the unwitting pawn in someone else's game. This isn't just about simple favors. It's about a subtle psychological war where your own goodness is the weapon used against you. Let's begin with number 5, the preemptive compliment. This is the classic buttering you up. Imagine your manager walks over and says, "You're honestly the most detail-oriented person on this team. No one else catches mistakes like you do." You feel a surge of pride, right? You feel seen and valued. Then comes the real request. "Could you just give this report a quick look over before I send it to the client? I'm in a real rush." Suddenly, what was a compliment becomes an obligation. You feel pressured to live up to that praise, to prove them right. The negative effect here is that your competence is being leveraged to get free or extra labor. As the great psychoanalyst Carl Jung might suggest, this plays on your persona, the idealized version of yourself you present to the world. You want to be that detail-oriented person, so you comply. But over time, you become the default proofreader, the go-to fixer, often without any extra recognition or compensation. The principle here is simple. Genuine praise doesn't come with an immediate price tag. Be wary when a compliment is quickly followed by a request. Next time a colleague praises your presentation skills right before asking you to help them with theirs, pause. Is this genuine admiration, or are they just trying to get you to do their work for them? Let me know in the comments if you've ever been compliment trapped at work. Coming in at number 4, the over-the-top favor. This is when someone does something excessively nice for you, something you didn't even ask for. They might buy you an expensive lunch, offer to drive you home even though it's way out of their way, or give you a gift for no apparent reason. It feels amazing, almost overwhelming. You think, wow, what a generous person. But this generosity often comes with invisible strings attached. Later, when they need a small favor, like you covering their entire week of work while they go on vacation, you feel an immense sense of debt. How can you say no after what they did for you? This tactic weaponizes the principle of reciprocity. You're psychologically cornered. Machiavelli warned that favors should be given in small doses, but when receiving them, be aware that a large, unsolicited favor is often an investment. The manipulator is creating a debt that they intend to cash in, and usually the return they expect is far greater than their initial gift. It exploits your natural desire to be fair and return kindness. The next time someone goes extravagantly out of their way for you, enjoy the gesture but keep your guard up. Acknowledge it, thank them, but mentally remind yourself that this doesn't indebt you to fulfill any future unreasonable requests. True kindness doesn't keep a balance sheet. At number 3, we have the "we're a family" speech. You've heard this one, especially in a corporate setting. We're not just a team here, we're a family. It's meant to create a sense of belonging and loyalty. It makes you feel warm, included, and part of something bigger. You want to contribute to the family, to help your brothers and sisters. But then this family asks you to work unpaid overtime, take on responsibilities way outside your job description, and sacrifice your personal time for the good of the company. The catch? Real families have unconditional love and support. This work family will drop you the second it's no longer profitable. This is a manipulation of our deep-seated need for community. Jung called this the collective unconscious, our shared ancestral need to belong to a tribe. By framing the workplace as a family, manipulators hijack that instinct. The principle to remember, inspired by Machiavelli, is to separate business and personal relationships. Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception, he wrote. The "we're a family" line is that deception. It blurs boundaries and makes professional exploitation feel like a personal obligation. Protect yourself by maintaining clear boundaries. You can be friendly and collaborative with colleagues, but remember that your job is a professional contract, not a familial bond. Your well-being comes first. Now for number 2, vulnerability as a weapon. This one is incredibly subtle and effective. A person shares a deeply personal or sob story with you. They confide in you, making you feel special, trusted, and empathetic. You naturally feel a pull to help them, to protect them. You feel like a good, compassionate person for listening. But then, this shared vulnerability becomes the excuse for everything. They miss deadlines because of their struggles. They need you to do their work because they're going through a tough time. They borrow money they never intend to repay. Your empathy is being turned into a tool for their advantage. Jung would point out that this preys on our shadow, the parts of ourselves we often repress. We all have vulnerabilities, and seeing them in others can create a powerful, albeit sometimes false, bond. The manipulator shows you a sliver of their supposed shadow to gain your trust and sympathy. The Machiavellian principle is stark. People are more willing to harm someone who is feared than someone who is loved. By making you love them through pity, they disarm you. You'd feel like a monster for holding them accountable. The key is to have compassion without sacrificing your boundaries. You can offer a listening ear, suggest professional resources, but you must not let their problems become your responsibilities. Have you ever been guilt-tripped by someone's sob story? Share your experience below. And finally, the most insidious tactic of all, number 1, the illusion of choice. This is when a manipulator makes you feel like you're in control, when in reality, they've engineered the outcome they want. They might ask, would you rather finish this urgent project tonight, or would you prefer to come in early tomorrow to get it done? It feels like you have a choice. You feel respected and empowered because they're asking for your preference. But look closer. Both options lead to the same result. You doing extra work outside of your normal hours. The only thing you're choosing is the flavor of your exploitation. This is a masterclass in psychological control. It gives you the feeling of autonomy while stripping you of any real agency. As Jung might argue, it creates a cognitive dissonance where your desire for freedom is satisfied by a false choice, making you more compliant. Machiavelli would have admired this tactic, as it makes people willing participants in their own subjugation. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally, and a manipulator gets you to do their bidding at once by making you think it was your idea. So how do you protect yourself? When presented with a choice, always ask yourself, is there a third option? The third option is often saying, neither of those options works for me. Let's discuss a more reasonable timeline that respects my work-life balance. By knowing these tactics, you can start to see them everywhere, not to become paranoid, but to become empowered. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to reclaiming your agency and ensuring your kindness is a gift, not a vulnerability to be exploited. These tactics are powerful because they prey on our best qualities, our empathy, our sense of duty, our desire to be liked and trusted. But your kindness is a superpower, and it should be used to build genuine connections, not to be drained by psychological vampires. Learn to spot the fakes, set firm boundaries, and reserve your incredible capacity for generosity for those who truly deserve it. Thanks for watching. If any of this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the human psyche, and don't forget to share your own stories in the comments below. Stay sharp and stay kind on your own terms.